We know that poverty has a huge impact on people's life chances, and that's why we're going to talk to you a little bit today about what Monmouthshire County Council is doing to address this. Monmouthshire, despite being a wonderful county, faces many of the same challenges that people all over Wales and the rest of the United Kingdom do. The difference is that it's often hidden and in difficult places to see, but that doesn't change the experience that people have. So the projects which we're going to talk about in a little while really describe what we're doing to stop people getting into poverty, to give them the skills to get out of poverty, and to help mitigate the impact of poverty on their lives. We do this through working with our partners in the health service and critically in the third sector, where people come together to really bring their expertise to help those disadvantaged in our society. The work that we do seeks to complement the Welsh Government programmes of Flying Start and Families First as closely as it can. And we're really trying to maximise the impact that those programmes have so that people can move from poverty as soon as they possibly can. But what we also want to do is to make Monmouthshire an enterprising county, a county where people can find work, well-paid work, that means that they themselves can remove themselves from poverty. That's the best way. It mitigates the impact and it gives people the capacity to move on and build better lives for themselves and their families.
Families First is part of a wider picture and it sits alongside other Welsh Government funded programmes such as Flying Start and supporting people. Our main priority across all of these initiatives is to ensure the right support is available to families and vulnerable adults in Monmouthshire.
Flying Start is a Welsh Government funded project. It happens across Wales in each of the 22 local authorities. So in Monmouthshire we work in targeted areas with families with children aged 0 to 4. Within the service we've got 4 main offers. We've got intensive health visiting, so we work with an Iron Bevan Health Board to deliver health services. Early language development support, so helping parents to help their children learn to talk. Parenting programmes, Incredible Years programmes, and also support at home. And then we've got childcare, so every child in a Flying Start area gets 12.5 hours of funded childcare each week at a high quality Flying Start childcare setting in Monmouthshire.
Supporting people is a means of funding, recognising what services are needed and providing services, mainly with a link to housing and homelessness related. It fits well in with the Welsh agenda for tackling poverty, bringing about social inclusion, but specifically for preventing homelessness. It's a frontline, face-to-face services that are provided, working with people who are in difficulty with housing, maybe through financial reasons, debt problems, family issues. Working with other agencies is a big part of it. And basically we intend to get in early when someone needs support, hoping other agencies recognise the need for that support, because by getting in early we can be more preventative, help people to deal with those issues, and at the end of the day it's all about trying to create a greater level of independence for people to move on and live independently in the future.
So it's important for us really to work in partnership with the Health Board, Housing Association, the third sector, as well as education, social service and the youth service. In this film we'll show you people that we've worked with telling their stories. They will have worked with a range of services, and that's important because we're all about developing a joined-up approach.
The Acorn Project works with families with children 0 to 18 years across Monmouthshire, offering packages of parenting support. This can range from evidence-based parenting programmes in groups to more informal structured courses such as cookery sessions, language and play groups, baby groups and confidence building courses. We work closely with an Iron Bevan University Health Board. We get lots of referrals from health visitors and school health nurses, as well as GPs, CAMs and other areas. We work closely with the health visitors. They refer in, they require support for families, and we go in and then provide that support, and we do exactly the same with school health nurses, and it works really well.
I moved here 2 years ago and my daughter was 5 months old. I saw a new health visitor because I was struggling a bit with postnatal depression. So saw a new health visitor and she mentioned the Acorn Project. I was a little bit anxious, you know, sort of didn't like people, that sort of thing. I was a bit thing, but I thought, no, for my daughter, you know, we'll go along. and I came along to a baby group here, and the first person I met was Yvonne, which if you've ever met Yvonne, she's like, rah, hello, you know, come on in, let's have a cup of tea. And she was lovely, and I sort of straight away sort of still feeling a little bit anxious and like, oh, people go away, but felt really comfortable.
Face to Face is a young persons and families therapy and counselling project. So we offer individual one-to-one counselling for young people aged 11 to 25. We offer play and drama therapy for young people under 11, and then we offer family support through family counselling. And we work in schools, general practitioner surgeries, community, youth centres, all over the place really, wherever we'll offer space. So we've got a wide range of referrers from all across the spectrum really. Health, education, so health visitors, GPs, schools, school nurses, and people can self-refer. We work with an Iron Bevan Health Board. Myself and a colleague work with them specifically in their family therapy clinic, but also we refer people into child and adolescent mental health services, and they refer people to our organisation, and sometimes we both work with the same family or child in partnership over a period.
Then it made me feel more like I'm not alone, so that's why I went, and it's really nice just to get away and talk to people who've gone through near enough the same thing as you. It helps me a lot with like how to deal with my feelings, because sometimes I just take it out on the people that I'm not, there's no point taking it out on. I remember I had an argument with my friend because it's she just didn't understand, and I got really angry with her, and then I just stormed off and I didn't speak to her for a month or two. And then she realised, oh, I know why now, and then we were friends again.
The activities that I used to do with the young carers when we met up is anything from youth club to get to intermingle with other young carers to anything from going to Oakwood. It was a chance to get out, forget about your worries, just have a nice time. You start building these relationships. You start very bit by bit and getting to know other people, and you start knowing that other people are out there and they've done things just like you. Whether it's caring for family or having a very stressful time, they actually took me out of my comfort zone and took me under their wing. It was very reassuring.
Team Around the Family is designed to help families to address their own issues. So we do that by identifying what their real issues are and then putting together a team that may be able to help in particular areas of their life. So for example, it could be housing, education, health. These people will meet together on usually around about a 4-weekly basis, and then we help family to develop a plan that they sign up to, and in that way they can achieve their own personal goals.
Well, Home Start offers a befriending service to families. We match trained volunteers with families, and the volunteer will then go and visit for a couple of hours a week and offer support in any way that the family needs. So it could be from a mum who suffers with postnatal depression or has had a multiple birth, maybe a family that's been through a separation or even new to the area. Volunteers go, they can do activities with children, we do language and play, they may accompany mum to baby groups, or just offer a listening ear really.
We'd never heard of Home Start, so they gave us a leaflet, we took it home and read it, and we were a bit, did we want some other service involved in our family? But when we read it and realised that it was more if we wanted them, and it was what we, for Home Start, it was what we wanted them for. So we decided to have a volunteer.
I was introduced to her by Charlotte, and we met at her home to begin with, and we needed to see how we would get along and whether we felt that we could have a beneficial relationship. My job was really being her friend and offering her some emotional support. She'd recently had a significant bereavement, and it had quite an effect on her.
We were a bit nervous before they came, but the conversation just got flowing, and we were honest and open about what we wanted and the situation that we were in, and I think that helped, that we were honest. We weren't hiding anything. They knew everything about us, they knew everything about me, they knew everything about my partner. they knew everything about the kids, they knew what we were going through, and so that kind of helped that we were honest with them so that they could help us our specific needs.
Chase was born, I was only 25 weeks pregnant, so she was 15 weeks early. She had a bleed on the brain, which resulted in cerebral palsy. It affected her mobility. She had spasticity in her legs, which meant that she basically walked on her toes. She was constantly falling over. She had really poor balance. You know, she struggled doing a lot of activities. It was a condition that seemed to worsen as she got older. She became tighter and she struggled more. I wanted her to get involved with activities because it would help her condition. The more she did, obviously it was going to help her. You know, the key was really to get her strength, to keep her strength up. So, yeah, I contacted the Children's with Disabilities team, and then obviously they arranged support with Play Scheme. When we first started, she had to have one-to-one support because she struggled to do a lot. You know, that person was basically with her all the time because she used to struggle to walk between places. So that one-to-one was always there to help her if they went out on trips. And just to basically oversee if there was activities she couldn't do, which at the time she couldn't do a lot. The one-to-one would be there to support her so she wasn't on her own as well.
I love Play Scheme, but the best activity of all must be sports, because I really like sports and it's fun, because then, say if when you get older you can do a lot. Like basketball, I do netball, I do loads of clubs involving sports. Even gymnastics when we were doing the ropes.
I think there's definitely a need for this in Monmouthshire. We see quite a lot of rural poverty, a lot of families that are isolated because if they don't have a car and they can't get out to reach groups and services. We have a lot of families that don't come from the area and have no family, and also family that don't have the resources to access groups or things that are happening in the community. So volunteers and the Home Start volunteers are able to help them access that.
They're wonderful, and I cannot fault them. They've been somewhat of an inspiration to me, especially having this as a teenager as well. I can't begin to describe how it affected me.
My confidence is up here now, where it was down here before. I manage my housework better, I manage my kids better, I manage my emotional state better. I can deal with things a lot better now than I used to be able to before, and I don't need that comfort blanket anymore.
Well, I go to Wrexham Primary School. See, they really want you to be independent, so I try my best to be independent. Because some children, it might have not happened to them, but I'm the luckiest person to have like a great mum to involved in how she did it. She's a special mum and I love her.